Hello, and welcome to my first video on haunted hotels across the US. For my first hotel, I decided to go with the Chelsea Hotel in Manhattan, New York City. We will be going over some of the history and of course some of the stuff that's gone on there to make people believe that it's actually haunted. The Chelsea Hotel was built between 1863 and 1885. While it did open for its initial occupants in 1884, it was designed by Philip Hubert of the firm of Hubert, Pearson and Company. In 1880, due to plentiful supply of houses and the relocation of the city's theater district, it ended up bankrupting the Chelsea Hotel. But years later, it would reopen in 1905, which was managed by the Knott Hotel and resident manager A.R. Walty. But unfortunately, the hotel, again, ended up going bankrupt in time. It was then purchased in 1939 by Joseph Gross, Julius Krause, and David Bard, and they held the hotel together until the early 1970s. And Stanley Bard, the son of David Bard, became manager after the death of Gross and Krause. And forgive me if I butcher those names, not exactly 100% sure how to pronounce them. On June 18th, 2007, the board of directors kicked Bard to the curb, and Dr. Marlin Krause and David Elder, who was the grandson of Joseph Gross, took over management with BD Hotel New York. But again, later on down the road with time, the firm would end up being terminated as well. The hotel would then be sold to Joseph Chittiwright for $80 million in 2011. It also stopped taking reservations at the time. Those that was long-time residents were allowed to remain in the building. In 2016, the hotel was bought by Ira Drucker, Richard Bourne, and Sean McPherson. As of 2022, the hotel is open. Some notable residents that have spent time in the Chelsea Motel was example is Mark Twain, Charles R. Jackson, the author of the Lost Weekend, died by self-deletion in his room September 21st, 1968. Now we will get on to the paranormal side of the video. According to reports from several mediums, the hotel house survivors from the Titanic. One said survivor by the name of Mary lost her husband in the tragedy. She became distraught, depressed, and could not adjust to life after the loss of her husband, and unfortunately hung herself in her room on the 5th floor. Which, losing a loved one like that, of course it's going to have a mental toll on you. So you would expect some problems, but hopefully not someone to do something like that. Another case is someone named Nadia, known as the severed hand ghost. Was about 10 years after the death of Mary in 1922. The New York Times reported a lady in her 20s had flung herself out the window facing the 23rd Street. Now she gets her name from the fact that she had placed her right hand in the middle of a huge industrial scissors that was used to cut bolts and cloth. She closed them and cut her right hand off. Nadia had actually grown up in the hotel. She was the daughter of a silk merchant that lived in the hotel. Nadia was also an artist, but that did not last long due to her meeting a songwriter. Her and the man ran away to get married. While she did have 2 children with him, unfortunately her husband became an alcoholic. She returned to the hotel and begged her father to let her and her 2 kids come back. While her father was, of course, upset with her running off and getting married and having kids, he of course let her come back. She had to do some work though. She was in charge of all the housework, cleaning, etc. In the end, unfortunately, Nadia couldn't bear life anymore, and as well, she did what she did. Supposedly on moonless nights, Nadia can be seen outside the windows of the upper floors. Then, the last but not least is Larry the Hipster Ghost. Yes, you heard that right. According to reports from a medium whose findings are in the Living with Legends Chelsea Hotel blog, Larry is very talkative. He is wanting to tell his story, and according to said medium, that anytime a ghost or apparition, is coming forth to try to say something, Larry's gonna cut him off, to get his stuff out there. According to Larry, everything in the hotel is real. If you go outside, you're in a world of illusion. So basically, Larry thinks he's in the Matrix. As well, there's apparently, according to Larry, something under the Chelsea Hotel, something that is the power for the things that go on in the hotel. Well, this is going to be it for the vid. I hope you enjoyed it. So what do you think? Do you think the place is actually haunted? Do you believe in ghosts? Or do you think it's all made up stories that are just fun to listen to? I'll leave that up to you decide, and we'll see you in the